Good evening and welcome to the second part, episode 13. I'm back, and I told you I'd be out here a little bit later than I thought I'd be out here. Had a couple of prior commitments to get things done, and also made a game time decision and decided to go with the Eagle Nebula tonight. As I wanted to get this a few episodes ago, and it was behind the trees. Well, it has now risen above the trees as now it's getting later in the year. So now I should be able to get it. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm guiding. Well, we're getting to be guiding in a second here. I'm just getting this set up. We have both cameras set up. We have both cameras centered on the Eagle. I should be able to get a couple hours before it hits the southern horizon or southern meridian, where it'll actually do a flip. So I should be able to get 1 to 2 hours of this in hydrogen alpha, and also should be able to get it with the Orion G3. Letting it just run and do what it's got to do. So this may take a little bit of time, but with it being live, I could always edit it out if need be. But we are going really well. I looked outside. It is super clear outside, so we should be able to get a great image of the Eagle Nebula tonight. Let me pull up the Starry Night Pro Plus 7. As you can see, there's no clouds or anything in sight, so we are doing really well. The Eagle is actually so good that you can actually see it in the finder. It is so bright. So as you can see, it's actually right there, Eagle Nebula, which is M16. So we're doing really well with that. We are going to connect the telescope here, so we should be good to go. Yep, there we go. We're going to zoom in. All right. And you can see this is definitely rich with a lot of hydrogen alpha objects. You have M16, which is the Eagle, M17, which is the Omega. You have M24, which is the Sagittarius star cloud. You have M23, which is an open cluster, M25. Then you have down here, you have M20, which is the Trifid, and M8, which is the Lagoon. And then you also have another Sagittarius cluster down here. So, and then somewhere along the lines, you also have the Wild Duck cluster somewhere in here too. There it is. The Wild Duck cluster is M11. So there is a ton of objects to get down here. And even as things start to rise, you have the Ptolemy cluster, the Butterfly cluster. So there is a lot of things to get this summer. It is super exciting. I just can't wait for a lot of these things, as where these things sit is right in the middle of the Milky Way. I'm actually going to zoom out so you'll be able to see the Milky Way here. Let's see. We're going to do, you'll actually see here right where that red line is the center of the Milky Way. So every one of these images, the center of it is the Milky Way. So you can see right where I'm pointing at. That's the cosmic radio background, or cosmic microwave background. There you go. There's another one there where it shows the center of the Milky Way. So you could see we're going to be shooting pretty close to the center of the Milky Way. So there's going to be tons and tons and tons of stars, which is going to be awesome. Gonna pull up the actual information on the Eagle, so you'll be able to see it here. And it actually does have a picture. We are going to center this. We're going to do M16, and we're going to center it so that way it doesn't, or anything like that. We're also going to sync it, so this way I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so a little bit of information on it right here. There we go. It rose at 8:12 p.m. It's going to, or transit at 1:23 a.m. It's going to set at 6:35 a.m. A little description, which is always nice. I'm not going to read it all the way through. By all means, you most certainly can. I'm going to keep it up for a little bit so you can definitely read it. It is really cool to understand that. Yes, you can see it with binoculars, which I suggest that you do that. I have done that when I went out to the BMO, which is the Beaver Meadow Observatory. I am part of the club, like I said, of the Buffalo Astronomical Association. It is a great club to join. Their website is buffaloastronomy.com. and you could definitely go on there. I will post something on the video here to show the link, so you can definitely click it and go through there. And it is an amazing club. They helped me get to where I need to be today. So definitely check them out. They have been around for 70 plus years and have helped out a lot of astronomers. So definitely a great, great club to join. If I would have known earlier, before I made a lot of mistakes in astronomy by buying certain things that I didn't need, if I would have known about them earlier, I probably would have saved myself a bunch of money. So definitely really cool to definitely check them out. Position in the sky, you can see that this gets right down to the thousandth of the arc minute, and even right down to the hour of the second, the 10th of a second. Shows all the information here. Right now it is sitting pretty good. It's definitely at an altitude of 25 degrees, is right where I need it to be, between 20 and 30 degrees. So it should be really good. Other data, 6.5 magnitude. It's the apparent magnitude. So it's actually a fairly bright nebula. Some of the nebulas that I got, like the Pelican, was between 7 and 8. This is even brighter than that. Closer to 0 is brighter. So we're doing really well. So we should be pretty close to guiding right now. Let me double check here and see. We are running on the south step right now, so we're just about there. I'm going to bring this down here, bring this down. Always put these in the same spot in every episode, I've noticed. All right, so we should be just about ready to guide here. South step 1, and we are guiding. I may have to make a couple of changes in the guiding to see how good it is tonight, but we should be pretty close on tonight. We'll take a look. It may have to settle down a little bit just to see, but we should be in great shape tonight. Looking at it here, declination looks good, right ascension looks good. All right, we're good to go. So let's pull up the QHY. So it is right here. I did take a 10-second image just in black and white, and there it is. There it sits right there. So it's going to be pretty close to the center. We're going to run a capture. We're going to do a planner. So we're going to show the planner here. And we are going to run, if guiding is going to run well, we should be in good shape. So we're going to try 480 seconds. And we're going to repeat this about seven times. And then we're going to run 600 seconds. If guiding is good tonight, we're going to just go all out. Hydrogen alpha will be phenomenal. So we should be in great shape tonight. Folder, and we're just going to put this in 2016. And we are going to start. So we're going to start it. We're just going to let it go and do what it's got to do for that. So hopefully we shouldn't have too many problems tonight. We're going to pick a different star here temporarily here because I think that star is just a little too bright. There we go. We should be in great shape with that now. I think we shouldn't have any problems with guiding at all. And then we're going to pull up the Orion G3, which is right here. And we're going to run a sequence on this one also. So this way we'll have 2 at the same time. We're going to run, I would say, 6. Yeah, I think we'll probably go with the 6. We'll be safe and we'll go with a 5-minute image just to be on the safe side. And we'll do 15. And then we'll type in Eagle. And we're going to run sequence with that. So we are golden. We are doing good. Guiding has definitely settled down. So we are good. And we're going to see what we can get tonight. Hopefully, as I said before, I'm hoping it's going to turn out really well. So at least we can get a couple images on this session. I'm going to run the session in about between 15 to 20 minutes. Might go a little bit longer depending on if we can actually get a good sets of images. And I'll run Deep Sky Stacker live so we can get an idea of what it looks like. With M16, I have gotten M16 before in the past a couple of times and have gotten it in hydrogen alpha with the Canon T3i. And I got this a few years back. So let's leave this one up here. So this way you'll be able to see it, because this will come up first. And I'll pull up the Eagle Nebula from when I got a few years back, because I think I got it in 2013 and also got it in 2014. It has been a couple of years since I've gotten it, and then I can present it to everybody. There we go. So this was the M16 that was taken roughly about 3 years ago. So you can definitely see what it looks like. I took this with the Canon T3i on my 6-inch reflector, so you can see that the field of view is super close. And you can definitely see the wisps and everything. And I took just the red channel off of this as the Canon T3i was modified. I took 29 exposures at 57 seconds. Yeah, only 57 seconds, just under a minute. And I got this. So, and it was 27 minutes and 33 seconds of total. I think I can beat that. And I think I can beat that a lot. I think it is going to turn out, this one's going to turn out really well. Let me see if I can zoom in on it here. Yeah, you can definitely zoom in a little bit. So you can definitely see the pillars of creation, which is right here, which I think is super cool. I did get this. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I got this 2 years ago. So I got this with the 8-inch. So you can definitely see the pillars of creation here, all throughout here in red. And I took only 3 exposures at 170 seconds, so a total of 8 minutes. Well, I'll be doing 8-minute exposures on this, not a total of 8. And I got this with the QHY, with a coma corrector, which I don't need anymore because I am not doing it with the Newtonian anymore. So I got this on the refractor, and I also got it on the same mount, which is the CG5. So a really, really cool image. I mean, this is going to turn out really well. All right, so the first image is done, and we're going to take a look at it and see where we got. The stars are drifting a little bit, but not too bad for the very first image. It is upside down. Oh, joy. I forgot to turn the camera again. It is upside down compared to the image that I got before. This one is sideways, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I can definitely take care of that, as I can always rotate the image if need be. Still a pretty cool image. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit here so that way everybody can see it. Yes, there is star drift. I know. It will be taken care of. Guiding is settling down right now, which is good. It usually takes between 2 to 3 minutes for the guiding to work its way through after calibration. I do want to give a little shout out to the people that are watching right now, as I do see that there's a couple of viewers right now. I do want to give one shout out to Laura. She is watching the video right now, and I did see that. So I want to thank her for watching. I'm sure there's a couple other people that are definitely watching, which is great. And I want to try to get as much support as possible. The more viewers, the better, which is great. And I definitely want to try to make this as best as possible for everybody. Let me take a look at the other one. It should be just about done. I'm going to pull that one up here. We're at 99% with this one. So this one is the QHY, so it's going to be a bigger field of view. Here we go. So this one's going to be pulled up. Looks like a satellite went through. Oh, yeah, satellites went through. This one is drifting big time. Oh, wow. That's not a good image at all. Hopefully it'll settle down. Remember, this is a 8-minute image, so we'll see what it will do. We'll adjust it on the declination a little bit here, see if it'll actually go down a little bit here, so this way we won't get as much drift. See if that works. So the other image should be just about done. It's got about 60 seconds left, so we are going to pull up the other one here. Okay. So just give this one a second here because this one's going to run. Let me zoom it out a little bit here. Could have moved it over just a little bit more, but wanted to just at least get it into view, at least the pillars of creation, just to actually take a look. And what the pillars of creation, what that means is it is a stellar nursery. There are a lot of stars in those. If you ever get a chance, definitely go online and type in Pillars of Creation. It's Pillars. And the Hubble telescope took an amazing image of the Pillars of Creation. It was super, super, like, zoomed in everything. Actually, that turned out, that one's really good. That wonderful, crazy plane just went right through the bottom of the image. Photobomb! Look at that, right through. It was a ham. It wanted to take its picture, so it went right through, but it did miss the nebula. So that's really cool. It's Christmas colors, red and green, went right through it. Yeah, stars actually look pretty good on this one. That's actually not too bad at all. Yeah, that's not bad. Could be focused just a slight bit more, and I mean just oh so slightly. But that's not bad at all. That's going to turn out really well. That's going to be really good. You can definitely see the pillars of creation right there. There's just 3 of them right there. Then you have a little bit of nebulosity down here. Definitely when it's stacked, you'll be able to see it. It's going to turn out really, really well. See if I can. I don't know if I can rotate it. I don't think I can. It doesn't look like I can. And I'm not rotating the camera, so I'm just going to leave it. I guess I'm just going to leave it as is. Not too bad. Let's take a look at the other one here. And we still got a long while to go with this. I may have to shrink that one down to 6 minutes or 7 minutes, but we will see. We are still looking pretty good for cloud coverage. It's not too bad. We're going to crank it to 10 seconds here, so this way you'll be able to see it. Not bad. I'm just going to bring down the brightness a little bit here. All right, so that's going really well. And we're at 76% on the other one, so I'm going to pull up the QHY again. And what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to do one on top of the other here, or one on side. We're going to do side by side. So this way you'll be able to see both of them together. And this way I can look at both of them at the same time. And hopefully we'll be able to see it and it'll be in good shape. Let me go to image, color, camera, zoom. There we go. So then hopefully this will turn out about 10 times better. Is definitely streaking big time. We're at 84%, 85. This will be the telling tale if I have to go down to 7 minutes or 6 minutes, or just keep it at the 8. I really, really want to get this at 8 minutes and do between 8 to 10 at 8 minutes. And if I can get that, we're gonna be golden. And I think we'll be in great shape with that. So I'm hoping this will be a lot better. Let me check guiding again. Oh, guiding is doing really well. It is definitely settled down. So it should be a lot better than this. We're at 95%. All right, the one on the left is definitely going really well. Definitely getting detail, so that's great. Oh, yeah, definitely a lot better. Ton better. That is phenomenal. That is great. We are going to zoom this in so this way you'll be able to take a look at it. Fantastic image. Oh. Now that's goosebumps right there. I got goosebumps on my arm right now. That is gorgeous. As you can see, the pillars of creation on the left-hand side here, or the left hand, and then it goes up, and then it goes a third one, and then comes down, and then you have some over here, which is really cool. So that is phenomenal. Looking at this at an overall image, perfect. Absolutely perfect. We're going to maximize this so you can really see it. Yes, it's on the lower right-hand side, because I've said many episodes prior, is because with the Orion G3, the field of view is like right here. So if I were to center this over here, then the Orion G3 would just show just stars, wouldn't show anything. So I have to move it just a slight bit down to the right. Happy 4th of July, as I heard some fireworks. It's not the 4th yet. As you can see here, that it's right there, and it's perfect. Now, there's a lot of noise in this image. The reason being is because it's shooting at 8 minutes, and it's doing the red, the green, and the blue channel. When you're taking solely just the red channel, what this is going to do is it's going to get rid of all this noise, and it's going to be just a smooth image. So, and it's going to enhance this nebulosity and this detail that you see all throughout here. So you're going to see a bunch of nebulosity all throughout here, which is really nice. So if guiding stays this way all night long, then we should have an absolutely fantastic stacked image on both cameras. This is going to turn out really well. I'm going to pull up Deep Sky Stacker Live. All right. And let me see if I can find the pictures here. All right. Monitor, yes, and stack. That's perfect. I have no idea what that on the left-hand side is. I think that might have been a plane that decided to do something. I don't know what that is. That is really weird. It is like, I don't know. No, it is not a UFO. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are probably saying it's a UFO. No, it's not. I know that there's the plane right there that went through, that photobombed the first image. But really not bad. I mean, minus the darks, the flats, and the biases, that is a really good image. The more I take, the less grainy this is going to be, the more smoother this is going to be. So this is only 4, so this is 20 minutes. I would like to get between, as I said, between 1 to 2 hours of this. And these are preliminary stacks. The Deep Sky Stacker Live, this is instantaneous. So as soon as it takes a picture, it immediately posts on here, so that way you'll be able to see it, which is really, really nice. The other one's at 72%, so it's taking a little bit of time with this, but really liking this. I wanted to make that all dark so you can really see, actually really see the pillars of creation in there. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Definitely really happy with the way this is going to turn out tonight. I'll probably get a couple more here and then probably end the broadcast. So then this way we'll keep it as short as possible, as I like to keep these sessions between 15 to 20 minutes. If anybody wants to actually have, actually want to see these longer, by all means, let me know. There's only so much to really talk about during an actual image session. However, if people actually want to, watch the entire thing, I can do a broadcast for 2 hours or 1 hour and then have an unedited version and an edited version. So this way anybody can actually take a look of what goes on at night, because it doesn't end after I do a session for online. As I continuously keep getting these images, keep adjusting the guiding, making sure that everything is in good shape. Eventually, this will hit the southern horizon, the southern meridian. So I'm gonna have to make the adjustment to do the meridian flip. So this way, the mount doesn't stop working. So I have to watch out for that. So I want to make sure that everything is going well. So by all means, if anybody's watching, just make sure to throw me a line. Send me a message, and I'll do what I can. My job here is to make sure that everybody is as entertained as possible and be as informative as possible, and just be amazed. I mean, the fact that I can get this out here from North Tonawanda is just absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm absolutely just amazed at what you can get even from here. Yes, it's a hydrogen alpha filter, but you can still, that's gorgeous. You can still get nebulosity, but if you go to a dark sky site, you'd get even more with a shorter exposure time. So I'm shooting this at 8-minute exposures. If I were to do, say, 4-minute exposures at Cherry Springs, you would probably get the same amount of detail and the same amount of nebulosity, just because it's less natural brightness. Yes, as I said, it's a hydrogen alpha filter, and it does block out 99.9% of the lights and the moon and everything, but natural brightness is completely different. And then it'll still be a great image, though. I mean, I'm looking at this and just, it may not look like anything to you right now, and looking at it saying, well, that's great, but it's not awesome. If I can get, as I said, if I can get 6 to 10 of these and stack these and get the flats, the darks, the biases, and get everything for calibration frames, this is going to pop out, and you will actually see the wisps on the top, and you can just barely see the wisps on here, and it's going to look really, really good. I mean, it's going to look really nice. Let me switch it back to the QHY. There we go. So that was the second image there. So it's looking really, really good. Let me see if I can zoom it in even further here so you can really take a look. I'm going to zoom it in at 2 times here. There we go. So that is just absolutely gorgeous. And there is nebulosity down here on the left-hand side, and that is really cool. I mean, that is I just love this. And that's like one of my passions. This is one of the things that I just love to do. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of information on this real quick while I'm waiting for the next image to load is with Messier 16 is the region of active star formation appearing in the constellation Serpens. This giant cloud of interstellar gas and dust is commonly known as the Eagle Nebula and has already created a cluster of young stars. The nebula is also referred as the Star Queen Nebula, and as IC, which is a Caldwell, that is the category 4703. The discovery the cluster was discovered by Philip Loos de Chizeau in 1745, who made no mention of the nebula. Charles Messier, hence M16, independently rediscovered the cluster in 1764 and described its stars as enmeshed in a faint glow, suggesting that he discovered the nebula as well. The Herschels apparently did not perceive the nebula, so their catalogs and consequently the NGC only described the cluster but not the nebula. The little cluster is that one that's right up here on the very top. but it does. The NGC does not describe this, the actual nebula right here. The NGC is the new general catalog. There is roughly 8,000 objects in there, and it would take you years to try to image every single object in the NGC. So it would take a long, long time. A little bit more information. With an overall visual magnitude of 6.4 and an apparent diameter of 7 arc minutes, the Eagle Nebula star cluster is best seen with a low-power telescope. The brightest star in the cluster has an apparent magnitude of plus 8.24. Easily visible with good binoculars, a 4-inch telescope reveals about 20 stars in an uneven background of fainter stars and nebulosity. Under very good conditions, suggestions of dark occurring matter can be seen just north of the cluster. And that's where this is up here. You'd be able to see an actual, like a little turn. Let me zoom out so you can actually see it a little bit better. That's this right here. It's like a little hook. That would be what would be the top of the Eagle. And that's what it's mentioning there. In an 8-inch telescope at low power, an M16 is an impressive object. The nebula extends much further out to a diameter of over 30 arc minutes. And that's what this is here. So you'll be able to see it goes from here all the way to the end here. So you'd be able to see a lot more nebulosity when I stack this. So you can definitely see a lot. The Eagle Nebula is best seen on photographs. That's what I'm doing. But larger apertures and oxygen-3 filters may help trace some detail visually. More dark pillars, also known as the elephant trunks, can be seen in large amateur instruments 12 inches or larger in aperture. Well, the telescope that I'm using here, the refractor, is only 3.5. So, yeah, it's not 12. For the properties, the Eagle Nebula lies about 7,000 light years away from Earth. So you are looking at this object 7,000 years ago, which is very, very interesting. That just blows a lot of people's minds, like I said in the last episode. A lot of people, especially my wife, cannot understand and cannot comprehend the distance of certain objects. I mean, we rely on foot, mile, inch. They don't really understand that a light year, an AU, which is an astronomical unit, they can't fathom that. And an AU is the distance between Earth and the Sun, which is approximately 93 million miles. So that is considered an AU. Pluto, which is the dwarf planet, that sits roughly, I think it's like 60 AUs away. So you could think the distance between here and the sun, and that times 60. So that is just incredible to even think about that. So that was a little bit of detail on M16, which is the Eagle. It's very interesting. And I'm going to be doing this with a lot more objects now, so that way people understand the background of every single object. So this way it's not just, here's an image, this is what it looks like, okay, goodbye. I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure that the people understand, and I'm going to be doing my research to make sure to understand what the object is, when it was discovered, who discovered it, the apparent magnitude, how bright it is, how far it is, and the diameter of it. So this way we will know the object inside and out, which is really cool. Oh, we are just running absolutely gorgeous with this image. It is running really well, and you can actually see, if you can look really carefully. I'm going to see if I can bring this out just a little bit here. I don't know if you can. I'm trying to really enhance the actual nebulosity here. You can actually see the nebulosity. It like turns. It's like a big arc right here. And then, of course, you got that little circle right there. And then you even have some down at the bottom here. So it is looking absolutely fantastic right now. And as I said, I'm hoping that we can continue to keep getting great images like this. Let me pull up the Orion one with the Deep Sky Stacker and see how we're doing with that. Oh, it's looking really good. It's looking good. I'm not sure if there's a bright star in that area. I'm really not sure. Let me take a look. I don't think there is. Something's on that side that's messing something up. I don't know if it's the light from... I'll have to take a look at the camera. Let me look at the single shot here and see. Yeah, it must have been just that first image, because I see it here and I don't see it in any of the images here. So I think it was just that first image that made it look really bad. So we're going to disregard that. That's fine. We're at 6 exposures, so that's 6 5-minute exposures, and then it's a total of 30 minutes. So we're doing really well. So I'm going to end the broadcast. Very successful night so far up to this point. Doing really well, getting everything that we need to get. Again, if there's anything that anybody wants to ask me, by all means, you most certainly can. I'm still trying to figure out the Q&A, figuring out how to link it to YouTube or Google Plus or even Facebook to figure out. I would probably say the best way of doing it is to go on Facebook and actually stream it live through Facebook and comment on there. I've gotten a couple comments on there, and I've seen that. And I thank you for that. So then this way everybody can actually watch and actually comment if need be. And then I can answer right away. I do have my phone sitting right in front of me. So if you do comment on Facebook, I will see it immediately. So then this way I can just answer it right away. If there's something that's not working, something that you want to see, something that is, if it's not showing up or something, whatever it may be, just let me know. Throw me a comment. So I'm going to end the broadcast. I want to thank everybody for watching, and have a good night. Bye.